Hello everyone and welcome to algotrading.pro. In this video, at the suggestion of one of our users, thank you CoinPump, we are going to discuss the deep learning features of Zorro Trader. We thank our viewers for their suggestions, and if you have any other suggestions, please let us know. Also, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and give us a like if you like our videos. All right, so Zorro Trader can do a lot of machine learning stuff, and it can also live trade using machine learning. Neural networks are just one of the things you can use. Deep neural networks are usable in live trading in Zorro and in backtesting. It is something that Zorro can do. However, it is not really Zorro Trader itself that does it for us. It is actually R, the R programming language. As you know, the R platform. As you know, Zorro Trader integrates with R and Python, so anything that you can do in R, you can use in Zorro Trader. Fortunately for us, the creators of Zorro Trader have already done the heavy lifting for us, and Zorro Trader actually comes with a very nice strategy that you can use as a starting point in your research on trading using deep neural networks. So let us take a look and see what we're talking about here. So let's fire up Zorro Trader and let's take a look here in the strategies list, the scripts. So if we scroll down here, we're going to see a strategy called Deep Learn. All right, so let's take a look at the script that we have here, and we can see that it's all about deep learning, right? And it is all about deep neural networks and platforms for that, like Keras and DeepNet and H2O and MXNet and so on and so forth. And again, the creators of Zorro have provided the code for this strategy. And as I said, by examining this code, we see here that Zorro Trader is using these functions advise long and advise short in order to trade or backtest using neural networks, the deep nets in this case. And we know that these functions basically are calls to R in order to create, train, and use a neural network for predictions. So let's take a look into the Zorro Trader folder. And here in the strategies folder, we can see our script deeplearn.c, and we can also see this file deeplearn.r, which is the R file that is executed by a call from Zorro Trader when we are training or backtesting or live trading this strategy, right? So let's take a look at that file. Let's open it with our studio, right? Which is the native application for our files. So here it is. So basically, what we see here is the creation of a neural network, right? And the training of a neural network, right? And I'm going to discuss this code in more detail while we are going to train this network, because it's going to take a while. However, in order for this to work, I urge you to install these two packages that are needed. So in order to train and use a neural network for trading the neural network platform we're going to use is DeepNet here, but we need to install these two packages. Okay, so please do this before anything else. Install packages, right? And the first package we need is Carrot, which is very useful for many machine learning tasks. All right, and you're gonna get some warning messages here. Just ignore them. All right, and then once you've got Carrot, we need to install DeepNet, which is basically, I'm sorry, DeepNet, which is basically the R library for one of the R libraries for deep neural networks. All right, so once we have that, so now we are done with R. We have everything we need. The next thing we need to make sure is that we have the data that is needed here. So it's the Euro USD foreign exchange pair historical data, right? So let's make sure that in the history folder, we have all these files here, Euro USD 2005 up to 2021 in D6 format. Now, I think these came with my Zorro installation, so you should have them as well. Please make sure you do, because if you don't have them, you can probably obtain them from the Zorro Trader website, but or from, they should be in there in your Zorro installation anyway, but make sure you have them, because otherwise it won't work. Now, as you know, T6 files contain basically candles, open, high, low, close format, volume format kind of files. But let's open one just to make sure we understand what we're doing here. So what data are we using? So just let's set the format for T6 and let's open one of them. So what we can see here is that we have in these files minute data. So this isn't hourly, so it isn't daily, it's minute by minute data. Okay, this is very useful because you can trade by the minute or by 10 minutes, or you can make any candles you want out of these 1 minute candles. Okay, so we have many years of minute data, and we have this DeepNet strategy that we can use. DeepNet. So the first thing you need, so RStudio R is fine, it has the library it needs. Just one more thing, let's try and make sure, let's test if our connection between Zorro Trader and R works correctly. And for that, we have a script here called R test. Let's run that. If this runs correctly, then our connection between Zorro Trader and R works just fine and everything is okay. So let's select it and then run test. All right, so basically Zorro Trader sent a couple of numbers to R, and R returned their sum. It's 100 or something like that. So anyway, it's a test that it's a computation that was accomplished by R, basically at the request of Zorro as a test. So now we know that Zorro can communicate with R without any issues. All right, so now we are going to open the DeepLearn script. DeepNet. DeepLearn. And let's take a look at the script. Hit edit and you are going to see the script itself. This was written by the creators of Zorro, I think. It comes with Zorro. So here you have, this is C, right? So these are some variable definitions here. So one of these needs to be uncommented, and depending on what platform you want to use for your deep learning part of this, you can uncomment one of these. So DeepNet, H2O, MXNet, and Keras are all deep learning platforms. Keras, as you may know, is it's using TensorFlow from Google. It's sometimes difficult to set up correctly, so we're gonna leave it alone. I've never used H2O and MXNet, so I don't know much about them, but I did use DeepNet a lot. Actually, I used Keras as well, but not in this setup. So we're going to use DeepNet because it's very easy to install. I just showed you a couple of minutes ago how easy it was. You just have to install the libraries, Caret and DeepNet in R, and you're done, right? So it doesn't get any easier than that. And then DeepNet is fine, at least for our initial learning exercise here. So we are going to uncomment these lines here, this line here. So now we're gonna tell Zorro that we want to use DeepNet as our deep learning platform. Let's save this, and now let's start the training process. It's gonna take a while, and I want to tell you a few other things while the training process happens. So basically, once we hit train, what happens here is that Zorro Trader is sending a request to R to create and to train a deep neural network based on the historical data that Zorro is providing to R. So let's take a look again at that R script that we were talking about. I was showing you. So basically, what is learning right now is this guy here, but it's running in R in the background. We don't see that. We do not see it, but it is happening in the background. So let's open this again in R Studio, and okay, so this is basically the script that is running now, and Zorro is basically sending data to R and receiving data from R, and it's training the neural network. What neural network? Well, this one. This neural network. Now, this video is not about deep neural networks. We may have a video on our website about that, but and there are many wonderful resources out there that you can learn from. But just as a very quick introduction, so basically, this neural network has three hidden layers. So basically, the first hidden layer has 10 neurons, the second hidden layer has 30 neurons, and the third hidden layer has 10 neurons, right? These are the hidden layers. The first layer, the input layer of the network, of course, will have the shape and the size of the input data. And the last layer here has only one neuron, because the output of this network is basically a number between 0 and 1, I think. But these are the hidden layers. So if you want to play with this, and try to improve the results, one of the things you can do is to change these numbers here, right? I mean, we call them deep neural networks because you can add more layers and you can make them bigger. And with modern computers, you can make these, I don't know, 100, 300, another 100. It's gonna take much longer to train, but who knows? Maybe you can improve our results here dramatically, right? So this is why we call them deep, because you can add layers, right? You can do this, for example, right? Sorry about that. Okay, or this, right? So now you have an even deeper neural network, right? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hidden layers, right? So you can experiment with this, and honestly, it's more an art than a science. There is no algorithm or no theory that can tell you how many layers or how big the layers should be. There is absolutely no theory behind this or algorithm. No one can really tell you for sure. So it's many times it's trial and error, right? And it is what it is. Now the other thing that you can change here is that the activation function, the learning rate, and so on and so forth. So all these are pretty much parameters, and I strongly encourage you to go online and read about this, and try to understand what they do. But One thing that I would encourage you to do is to play with the layers. Make the network deeper or more shallow, or add or subtract neurons, or try to play with that, and then try to discover what other activation functions you can use, and how that affects your results. Okay. All right, so this is the creation of and the training of the network. This part here is the usage of the network, the predictions, right? And then saving the model and loading the model, and functions that are useful, but where we won't get into those. The piece that is of most interest for you, as learners, if you will, is to play with the neural network itself, and see if you can improve your results. All right, so now, as you all know, this neural network needs data, right? We need to feed data into the network in order to train it. So what data are we feeding into this neural network, right? So well, let's take a look at the script. All right. So Zorro Trader is responsible for preparing the data and feeding it into the network in R, and then receiving the signals back and trading based on those signals. So let's see what exactly is it that Zorro Trader is feeding that network. Okay. And I mentioned those functions, advise long and advise short. I'm not gonna get into a lot of detail here. Please go to our website, algotrading.pro. I'm gonna have some blog posts there and some more detailed videos about how these work. But pretty much these functions are the ones that are calling R into service here and passing data to the neural network, right? So pretty much change 1, change 2, change 3, change 4, range 1, range 2, range 3, range 4 is what is being passed to the neural network, running in R again, by Zorro Trader. Now, what in the world are these 8 numbers? Change 1, change 2, change 3, change 4, range 1, range 2, range 3, range 4. So what in the world are these 4 numbers? Because obviously they are actually 8 numbers, right? 4, change 4, range. What in the world are these? Well, not a big deal. So if we scroll up here, we can see that basically these are functions, right? These are 2 functions, change and range, and they take as argument an integer, right? And basically what they do is they return a scaled version of a calculation of the price. This is stuff related to price action, right? So what does this mean? Well, price close of 0 is the current price, right? The price this minute or this hour or this day, or it is the price right now, minus price close n bars ago, all right, divided by price close of 0, the current price, right? So and this is being done for, so the scaling of these values, right? So it's 5 minus 3, let's say, divided by 5, right? So if the price right now is 5, the price 3 days ago was 3, is 5 minus 3 divided by 5, right? So it's a relative indication of the price action, right? This number here, 100, means that we're doing the scaling over 100, the last 100 values. And what is this scaling thing? Well, if you go into the Zorro Trader manual, you're going to see that basically it's a mechanism to force all these values into the interval minus 100 to 100. So basically the return of this, it's always going to be between minus 100 and 100. And then we divide this value by 100. What does this mean? Is that basically this thing called change is always going to be between minus 1 and 1. Now, okay, we get this. This is the price action in relative terms. Okay, we get this. This is easy. But why this whole thing with the scaling and dividing by 100 and so on and so forth? Well, that is because neural networks like to use values between minus 1 and 1. Okay, so when you feed data into a neural network, you'd better scale it, normalize it, transform it, do whatever with it in some way, but compress it between -1 and 1. If you don't do that, then the training is going to take much longer, and there are all kinds of issues but with using larger values. I mean, it's not impossible, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's faster and easier if you do something like this, okay? So basically, this variable here is a variable that pertains the price action, but it transforms the price action in a way that makes it suitable to be fed as input into a neural network. And the result of this is going to be always between -1 and 1. Same thing here. Okay, same thing here with the range. But what exactly is this range thing? Well, think about it. This is the highest high. This is the lowest low. Okay. So these are internal Zorro functions, right? So the highest high minus the lowest low over the last n values divided by price close, scaled over the last 100 values divided by 100. Okay. So basically, this is a measure of volatility. This is a number between -1 and 1. Okay, so this range, it's a number between -1 and 1 that reflects the volatility of the price over the last n variables. So basically, this thing that we're feeding in the network has it's a number that reflects the price action, and this number reflects the volatility. So basically, we are going to tell the neural network that the last four values pertaining the price change were these, and the last four values pertaining the volatility of the price were these. We're going to feed this into the network and get back a number. And the function that accomplishes this, it's advised long. You can check the arguments. Neural means the neural network in R. Now, we're going to get back a number. If that number is higher than a variable called threshold, we go long. If not, then we go short. So where is that value defined? Somewhere. It must be defined somewhere. Threshold. It is defined somewhere. Yeah, here it is. It's 0.5 right now. So this is something you can play with as well. Okay, so you can change this. So right now, if the value returned by the network is higher than 0.5, we go long, or the other, or if it's lower, we go short. You can, so another parameter you can play with is this threshold. Okay. Now, what we see here is that we are trading the hour. Okay, we are trading on hourly bars. We're not trading the minute bars, but we do have minute data. So another thing that you can experiment with is change this, right? Make it, I don't know, 1 minute, right? So you're trading 1 minute bars, okay? Or you can do 10 minutes, right? You can trade 10 minutes bars, or whatever other values you can think about, right? So the grand idea is that we are going to get some results here, right? And you can try to improve them, and these are things you can change, right? The look back period is 100 because it has to be 100 bars, because this is what the scaling procedure here uses, right? So we need the last 100 values because of that scaling thing. So you can also play with these values here, right? So change 1 means the price of the current bar minus the price of the previous bar, right? But what we're saying here is that we are using the four previous values of the price action and the four previous values of the volatility to predict what's going to happen at the next bar, right? but you can try playing with this and saying, hey, I want to use older data, right? Like 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So now I'm using not the last bar, but the bar before the last bar, and so on and so forth, right? So you can play with all these things and see what you get, right? And who knows, maybe you can improve our results by a lot. Okay. Another thing you can do is to change these things. So now we're feeding the network a price action information and volatility information, but how about feeding it some moving averages or some other indicators? I don't know, but the skeleton is here. I mean, this script that is provided by the creators of Zorro, with very little change, allows us to do many things. This is just an introductory video. We're gonna have most likely a lot more videos like this on our website, but right now this is just to get you started. So let's see where we are with the training. We're almost done. Okay, so one last word here. So what kind of a training is this? Walk 52. Well, if you watch our first video here on YouTube, you will, if you watch that or watch it now, if you didn't, this is not just a simple optimization. This is a walk forward optimization. So basically, what we're doing here is the neural network in several splits. So we take the data and we split it in intervals, and then these intervals are made of a training set and the test set, and the split between those is 90, meaning that 90% of an interval is the training set and the other 10% is the test set. So basically we use a lot of data for training, and then some 10% of the data at the end of that interval, in order to test if the neural network has learned anything useful, right? So and can trade profitably, and we do that over and over again, right? So we arbitrarily set here the start date, January 1st 2015, but then we divided the walk forward optimization period is 1 year, right? So basically 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? So we every year we take 90% of the data and we train the network, and then we trade on the last, and we test actually on the last 10%, and so on and so forth. So this is a walk forward optimization, which is not perfect. Again, it's not the end all to optimization, but it's better than a simple optimization over the whole period, right? So WFO is one of the best things you can do. Read about it. Zorro is very good at it, and you can also play with this. I'm sorry about that. You can also play with the start date and end date, and I already told you can play with the bar period. You can't really play with the look back period unless you also change this here. Not this, but this. So yeah, so there are a few things that you can change here in order to improve your results, but basically this is pretty much all you need in order to feed some information to a neural network, to a DeepNet, right? And train it and then test it. So let's see where we are. Oh, we're almost done here. All right, so the training is finalized here. And now let's test. So it took us 18 minutes. Which is not unexpected because it was a lot of data, and training neural networks is fairly slow. So 18 minutes on my fairly slow machine here is not a bad thing. Now if we had Zorro S, which is the paid version, then this would have been faster because I do have multiple cores in my CPU, but the free version only uses one. Okay, so let's see. Let's test this, right, and see what we get here. So we are basically using now the trained neural network to predict what the market is going to do at the next bar and buy or sell based on those predictions. Now, if we are right more often than we are wrong, then we're going to make money. If not, we're going to lose money, right? Obviously. So pretty much this is like, okay, I'm looking at the last 4 bars, right? And I'm trying to predict what happens at the next bar. And I buy or sell the Euro USD Forex pair based on that. So, well, let's see what we get here. Oh my God, look at this beautiful picture, right? So here we are seeing the signals right down here. These are the signals that are being plotted. Remember I told you that the signals we're getting, basically it's a number that we're getting, and if it's above 0.5 we're buying, if it's below we're selling. So here you have the buy versus sell. The I think the black line is the go long signal, the gray line is the go short signal. So here are the signals and here are the trades, right? And you can see that we are trading a lot. The equity curve looks beautiful. It's really, really nice. And we didn't discuss about when do you sell. Well, when do we sell? Just one sec here, right? When do we sell? We know when we buy. We buy when the neural network tells us to buy. But when do we sell? Well, we sell after 3 bars. Okay, so the lifetime of our trades is 3 bars. So we buy when the network says we should buy, and then we sell after 3 bars, right? So basically all these trades should last for 3 bars. And look at this beautiful equity curve. I mean, this is really, really beautiful. And wow, I mean, if we look at the results, so basically we are making an annual return of 106% a year and a profit factor of 1.06. The pessimistic return is also pretty good. Sharp ratio 1.12. So this is not a bad result, guys. This is not a bad result by any measure. Everything looks good. It's a lot of money we're making, and this seems like a very good strategy. Now, is it? How come we are not all rich if this is such an amazing strategy, and it comes with Zorro Trader pre-packed, right? So how come we are not all rich? Well, here is me popping your balloon. I'm sorry, guys. So here is the problem. This line right here. But before I show you this, so let's take a closer look at the results. Where are the detailed results? It's just showing me the trades. So let's run this again because it's gonna show me. I closed it in Notepad. I'm sorry, and so I'm gonna keep you a couple more minutes, but I wanted to show you what the problem with this strategy is. So the impressive thing is that indeed the neural network is learning something about the market. So obviously we are right more often than we are wrong, right? So the network can really predict with certain accuracy the direction of the market. And this is remarkable. Honestly, I didn't believe that such a simple system can do such a remarkable job with the prediction. So the predictions aren't bad at all. Actually, I think we're right around 60% of the times. We're probably right. But let's check. Okay, so percent winning, right? So we are basically better than chance by 7.3%, right? So the network, and we should check this in R, because maybe the network does better, but Zorro screws the execution, or whatever. So these are the winning trades, but maybe in another video we will explore how many times basically the network was right, because it's not the same thing. Okay. All right. So obviously the network did learn something about the market, right? And if it's gonna go up or down. But here is the 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 line that bothers me. So this is the walk forward analysis result. So here is the line that bothers me, and you should always pay close attention to that. Okay, this is the line that bothers me. So we are making on average just a little over 3 cents per trade. Okay, just a little over 3 cents per trade. This is very, very little. This is very, very little. But we do trade a lot. Okay, we do trade a lot. If we take a look here, right, we do have a lot of trades, and those 3 cents per trade add up. Now, should you try this at home? And how come we're not all rich? Well, let me show you what happens if we become a little more realistic, right? So this line here is basically telling Zorro that in this backtest, there should be no spread, no commission, and no slippage, right? Now, in the asset fix file, right? In the asset fix file that basically dictates our simulation parameters, we do have the Euro USD pair, right? So in this file here, this is where Zorro is looking if this line, if these are not zero, right? This is where it gets the information from, right? Okay, so we make sure you have an entry for the Euro USD pair in this file, and if you do, then you can do this here, and you can save it and run the backtest again. This time there's gonna be slippage and commission, and it's gonna be a more realistic backtest than setting all those to zero, right? So let's see now what happens. And again, we did not retrain the network, so the trades are exactly the same. The neural network is making the same predictions like before, but now we pay the broker. Now we got slippage. Now we got all that stuff that has nothing to do with neural networks or deep nets or anything, but it does have to do with the realities of trading, right? So although we are right more often than we are wrong, let's see, are we making money or not? Well, a lot of good trades. The trades are the same, okay? But look at the equity curve, okay? So we are dead in the water. We are dead in the water. So the annual return is minus 23%, Sharpe ratio minus 3.85, and so on and so forth. So again, guys, although the network predicts things correctly, I mean, we are right 57% of the times. I mean, the winning trades here are, the percentage is different because of the slippage and all that stuff. But again, this is the percent of winning trades. And since now we have slippage, it's lower than 57%. But the predictions of the network are the same. So clearly the network has learned something about the market, but with the realities, with the friction, the market friction, and all these other costs, you know, although the network is clever and has learned something about predicting the direction of the market, this strategy in this form, or at least with these costs, is not profitable. Now you can try playing with those parameters, and if you can increase the profit per trade, because that's all it is about, right? If you can increase the profit per trade, right? Maybe an idea is keep the trades for longer, right? Right now we keep the trades for 3 bars, right? Maybe keep them for 5, keep them for 10. I don't know. You can try and experiment and see what happens. And I'm really, really curious if someone can find some changes, some modifications to this strategy that can make it profitable with realistic market conditions. I would be very, very interesting to learn about. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it. And please visit our website, algotrading.pro, and sign up for our website. We have a lot of videos in the members area. It's completely free, guys. It's completely free. No credit card required, just an email address and the username. That's all we're asking. I mean, it's just free, like a free beer, right? So come to our website, take a look, algotrading.pro, and please give us a like and subscribe to our channel to get notified of further videos. And thank you very much for watching. Happy trading.